guys! Welcome to
Chan's Logic, episode 6. I've got Pepe here. He's excited. He's crawling down Steph's arm. And we're excited to kick off the show today.
Yeah.
So this week, I just recently traveled to beautiful Carlsbad, California.
Without me.
Kind of without Steph. She stayed here because she doesn't like to travel.
That's not true.
She says she hates airplanes and white sandy beaches. And she also doesn't like surfing. So she didn't want to go.
I'm afraid to surf. I don't swim very well, so I don't think the doggy paddle is going to help me survive in the ocean.
Yeah, one time, actually, I saved her in Tough Mudder when she was drowning.
Oh, yeah.
We jumped off a pillar together. She didn't come back up, and so I swam under her and pulled her to shore.
That was the 15-foot jump, like, into the freezing cold water. That was the one thing I was super scared about, was jumping off of that into, yeah, no, I just don't swim well.
So Steph and water don't mix.
No.
She's definitely
I need floaties, even in the ocean.
Yeah, she can't do the washing machine after getting thrown off a surfboard.
No.
So I went to Carlsbad to go over just some marketing stuff for a group we're with, and the idea was to get something organized that was a good system, that was an effective system, and we had a lot of good collaboration, a bunch of good days down there. A little too much drinking, I think. I haven't drank that much since college. In reality, it was a lot, but it was good. It was a good time, exciting.
Wonderful. Okay.
Steph, say words. You're running the podcast.
You're ranting.
Oh. What am I ranting
You're
about?
rambling at me.
I'm not even rambling.
Oh.
Okay, just cut that part out.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay.
Anyhow.
So this week we want to kind of talk about marketing, the voodoo magic people make it look like it is, and how you should actually do it, what you should avoid, and some other stuff like that. Should be exciting. So when we look at marketing, we want to think of it as a system. We want to look at the end result, and we want to reverse engineer to make that end result happen. And so when we're kind of looking at reverse engineering this, we need to look at a system set up. So we need emails to be sent out to people to nurture them. That's the final piece of the project. Then we need some sort of website, because that's our piece of real estate we're going to send people to fill out their contact information.
To get the emails.
To get the emails in there. And then from there, before the website, we're going to send people, we're going to actually focus on branding and building awareness and building trust via social networks, or wherever everybody's attention is at. If you have a platform and everybody's on it, that's where you should be advertising. That's why Facebook is so important right now. That's why Instagram and all these other things, Snapchat, Twitter, it's why all the marketers are on there, because that's where the attention is at. And so when we look at the system, where this whole thing breaks down is we have the system of the branding, the awareness via social, or where the attention is at, into the website, which leads into an email system, which leads into a lead or a prospect that you can follow up with because you've already built them up to love your brand. Where it breaks down is everybody wants to make each piece seem like it's the end-all be-all, and what they're doing is going to be the next ticket to success. And so when we think about this, you have the email marketers who say, you need to send these emails out, you need to use these clickbaity, click me now titles, like you won't believe this. And then everyone opens it, and you open it and you're like, well, I kind of do believe that, and this was dumb. And then you unsubscribe. So we don't want to do kind of shady tactics like that. The other thing they're saying is you need to write the longest copy in the history of the entire world. So it takes you 25 minutes to get through whatever's in the email. You eventually just get so bored and irritated, you scroll to the bottom to see what it is.
And then you unsubscribe.
And then you unsubscribe.
I hate that.
We don't want to do that. We're not being shady email marketers, and we can't tout this as the end-all be-all system, as email as the solution. People's attention is in email, but it's not where it entirely is. The next thing I think that ties into email is automated kind of marketing systems. So now automation is getting pretty popular with a lot of people, and well, it does have a good place in helping business owners kind of do things like confirmations for appointments, confirmations when they purchase, stuff like that, shipping confirmations. Automations should not be touted as a unique selling kind of option that's going to get leads in, which is what people are selling it as. Hey, get our automated email system and you're going to get flooded with people. It doesn't happen. That's selling hopes and dreams. So that's the next piece. And the piece we look at next is the website. So now we get website companies say, hey, purchase our website for anywhere from $3,500 to I've seen up to $75,000 for a website.
Yeah.
When we look at this range, you got to ask, what am I getting out of this website? What have we seen?
Garbage.
So a lot of the time you see the website and they say, oh, look, we designed it pretty. We designed it fancy. We designed it to do funky things. But then the opposite side, and what the computer engineers often don't look at, is what's the user experience like?
Yeah.
And so when we look at the user experience, it's, do you have to click on 45 different things to get somewhere? Does it work on mobile really well? Is the unique selling proposition you have actually on the website? Or are you trying to sell 57 different things? If you are selling several different products, we'll organize a website in that way, but it doesn't need to be a jumbled mess. And so website companies right now are selling on design, and they're selling on conversions and optimization for SEO. So when we look at this, SEO is a given. It does not need to be it can be a selling point because it's something they're doing, but it doesn't need to be some voodoo magic selling point. And they should not be selling optional SEO services. To me, that's pretty shady. If they design your website right, if you have a blog and if you write in a way that speaks to the people who are searching for what you have, then you're going to bring people to your website.
Yep.
So this comes back to our concept of being human. If you write like a human and you act like a human on your blog, your SEO is going to reflect that.
That'll put you up in the rankings. Not the selling, like, hey, I can sell you to like the top 5. Because then you got to pay a bunch of money and it doesn't always work.
Yeah, they're going to use shady tag. They're going to get people to link back to you from weird random blogs that don't make any sense, and you're going to get dinged for that. So don't buy link backs to your website. Basically, you need to focus on getting good quality sites to link to you.
Mm-hmm.
You need to focus on good quality content, and then writing in a way that's human. And that's going to be your SEO.
Mm-hmm. So getting good quality sites to link back to you means like a part of all of this is, making your brand and then understanding the businesses that you can work with or kind of partner with that makes sense for both of your brands, both of your companies. Because then that way you guys can kind of rely on each other to push each other's content out, to link back to each other. Those are the kind of things that you should be doing outside of the branding and doing like your blog posts and stuff, is that whole building relationships with people in your area, even people like that kind of stuff, linking back in websites. You can do all of it online. So make good relationships online, have people that you communicate with regularly that you depend on, or maybe have help with some content, anything like that. But those are that's what we mean by having good quality sites, like sites that you trust, sites that you would go to, link back to your site. That's going to help your SEO.
Yeah, for example, we write a blog post once a year or so that's the top restaurants in our area offering healthy options for our people. We link back to their sites, and now there's a site like ours in a position of authority that links back to their site, which boosts their SEO. Mm-hmm. And so we're doing two things. We're helping people out by telling them where to eat, and we're helping these restaurants out by telling people to go there. The other thing we do is we'll do little 2-minute videos with healthcare providers, talk about them, link that back to their website, and now they're getting information to them. And so those are the kinds of things that not only get you set up for SEO success, but it builds relationships, like Steph was saying, with local business owners and people that are similar to what you're doing.
Build rapport with everyone.
Yeah. So now we've talked about SEO, and we've talked about the websites, we've talked about email marketing, and these are two pretty important pieces that we need to put into the puzzle. But so now if we have these both set up, we have email, we have website, but we have no brand awareness. In today's market, nobody cares about your website. Nobody's going to visit it. It's just not going to happen unless you establish brand awareness. And how do we establish brand awareness?
Getting out there.
Yeah, we get out there. So brand awareness is built through going to where people's attention is at. And where are people's attention right now, Steph?
Social media.
Yeah, and so social media is where the attention is at. People have their faces in their phones 24/7, scrolling their Facebook feed. I think of my phone as an extension of myself. If I lost that, I think it's like losing an arm.
He gets mad when his phone starts to die. He throws a tantrum. When we like hit a dead spot, he throws a tantrum. If it stops working for some reason, he throws a tantrum.
Yeah, so I need that thing. It's like losing a piece of me when it breaks down. That's where my attention is. It's where
Mhm.
people's attention is at. People are scrolling their Facebook feed 24/7. As soon as they get a notification, they're checking it. So that's where
Mhm.
that's where it's at. And so when you want to build awareness for a specific brand, you have to focus on where the attention is. And so no matter what anybody says, you need to focus on that. It doesn't matter if it's Facebook, doesn't matter if it's whatever is coming out tomorrow. It matters that these people are on it right now. And so now that these people are on it, that's where we need to focus our branding efforts.
Mhm.
If you think about it right now, you can do Facebook ads, they're inexpensive. You can build that brand awareness into your Facebook page. Then you give out information and content to people, start telling them kind of how to do things, what your business is about, just give them value, provide them things that they can use. Don't your social media and branding efforts do not, they should never be oriented towards selling. This isn't selling. This is building an ethical relationship with the people who you want to work with you.
Trust. It's all about trust.
Yeah, the more trust we build, the better off we're going to be in the long run when they do actually go to our website, because they're more likely to fill out a form, put in their email address, and then we can get in contact with them and see if what we do is a good fit for them.
Yes. And then you sell them.
Yeah, ethically sell them.
We've talked about all of this before.
So now we've got our branding, which is branding is building what you are and telling people what you do, organizing that in a way that builds trust.
You have to understand that. If you don't know what your brand even means, I mean, when these guys went down there, down to build out this program, the people building this were impressed that they had their things together. They knew what their brand was. Like they had that already good to go. And lady was like, there's some people that come in that takes half a day to even just establish what exactly their brand is with other companies. So you should really have that established before you move any further. If you don't even know what your brand is, if you can't tell somebody in just a conversation, some stranger you meet on the street, then you need to figure that out first. That's the most important thing before anything.
Yeah, you think about it, the companies that you know kind of right off the top of your head, you know Nike, you know Just Do It, you know McDonald's, you know, what is McDonald's thing? I don't even know.
I'm loving it.
I'm loving it. So you have an idea of what all these brands are doing and what their kind of tagline is because of the strong brand awareness they built. You don't buy things because it's a thing. You buy things because it's associated with a brand you like. Sunglasses, you like Oakley. It's a piece of plastic with a frame, but you buy it because the name is on there.
Yep.
So yeah, we want to establish that branding presence because that builds awareness, and that's going to allow your business to function for a number of years. So now, looking back, what are we kind of looking for in a complete marketing system where we're not selling voodoo clickbait garbage? We're not selling the longest email in the history of the world where you have to scroll for 25 minutes to get to where you're going.
I hate that. I don't read very well either.
That makes me want to take the email and throw it out the window, even though it's digital.
I get too distracted. I'm like, 2 sentences, Oh, and then I'm at the bottom, like, just unsubscribe.
I just don't feel like it's ethical to have to explain something to you for 2
No.
hours unless I'm talking about the biomechanics of human physiology or something that requires an in-depth explanation.
Whoa, take a breath.
Even then, we can summarize it. So it needs to be, we have our branding efforts as point number one. Branding efforts are where the attention is at. So branding is you and your relevant networks. You need to understand what you're doing, what your people are searching for, and then you can develop a brand around that. We create content that talks to people, content that shows them how what you're doing works, and content that educates them.
Yes.
From there,
then you push that to the social platforms, which we've talked about a lot. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat. But you push all of that content, the in the moment stuff for Snapchat, push all of that out there on the social medias for people to see and start building trust.
Yeah, and you have to really test and play with social media and see what works. Videos are popular, pictures are popular, all of that stuff that's just educational content. You throw out blog posts that link back to your website. If you put videos right on Facebook, it does better than if you link to YouTube or anything like that. But then people start to see it. If people don't see something, you have to pay to play on Facebook
Pay
now.
to play.
If you're not going to pay, you're probably not going to get much reach.
Right.
And so Once we establish them
do
on Facebook, we have our site set up, our branding set up, we understand what we're doing. Now people are going to start clicking from social networks into your website. And so now what does our website need? We don't need websites, again, like don't do it like an email where it's the longest copy in the history of the world with highlighted words and special effects and all this crap. Just tell people what they need to know.
Simple.
Organize it in a way that they want, that they're going to like to see it. Yeah, and make it simple.
Mm-hmm. The simple, sleek, like plain to an extent looking websites are just, they're just nice. The things that look just well put together, not a whole bunch of click here, watch this video, wait, watch this video, the sliders on the like main page with the 5 different pictures that you're like, oh, I like that, and then 2 seconds later it's gone and you're like, how do I get back? Because then people give up.
Yes.
So nice, simple, sleek, kind of just flattened look.
Now, actually, statistically, sliders, only 60% of people will look at the first, and they won't look at any other sliders. They don't work anymore. They're so 1999, and so we need to expand past that. Sliders, get rid of those. Your website, your homepage is just your logo or a video, what you're doing or your unique selling proposition. So why do you have a website here and what do you want them to do?
Mm-hmm.
And then your call to action. That's simple. And then it can go into maybe a couple little boxes of who you are, what you do, why you do it, and then maybe a testimonial and another call to action. Keep it simple. Put your relevant social networks on there and get it set up.
Icons.
Yeah, and get it set up like that. You need to have probably no more than 7 little tabs at the top. The most important ones need to be there all the time. You can put the other ones in a little hamburger icon, but really you only need 7, and don't do like 57 little drop down menus. Nobody's going to click on all that stuff.
That's too much.
So now you get them, they go to they click on your little call to action, they put their email address in, make sure you're an ethical person here in marketing. So when you get their email address, don't sell their info. Their privacy is definitely important. And don't spam them. Don't send them. I think there's this business consultant in the CrossFit industry. I won't name a name, but you'll get an email from him every 2 hours for some dumb product he's pushing, and it just goes straight to spam. I like to make a folder and just collect all 57 emails you get in a day. They'll send an email that says, buy this now. 20 minutes later, time is running out. It's another email. Oops, someone just bought 2. And so that's unethical marketing. That's terrible. That's garbage. Don't do it. Stay away from it.
Total spam. We have another one of those businessy kind of, oh, no, it's an actual business fitness center.
And don't target
something out
people
every
like
couple
that.
hours.
So your email should be, first email, hey, thank you for putting your info in. You're either going to call them or talk to them via email. You could send them 3 or 4 other emails. Another one that just gives them some information about what you're doing is going to benefit them, some educational content, more education, and maybe one more email that says, hey, we haven't heard from you yet. We'd love to get in contact with you or something like that. And then just send them an email once a month. And if they don't like it, they'll unsubscribe. If they do, this is also in your branding efforts. So now, even though they actually didn't come in and see you through the email means, you're going to talk to them for a period of however long they want to be on your email list. And you're just giving them relevant info, helping them out. We've had people come in and say they've been following our email list for a year.
Couple years, yeah.
And they just say the information was great, and they finally got the courage to walk in and try it out. And so it doesn't happen in a day. There is no lead generation magic. There is no kind of potion where you get 57 people in a day. Anyone who's selling you lead generation should be punched in the face.
You're violent.
Yeah. But these people are preying on your hopes and dreams, and we want to get rid of that kind of concept.
Organically get your lead generation into your system.
Yeah, and don't think in the short term. This is a long process. If you want to establish a relevant brand, people know and understand, you're looking at a 2-3 year journey. This isn't going to happen in a day. It's not going to happen in a month. It's not going to happen in a year. It's going to take a long time to develop that brand and establish it. And you're going to get a reputation. You're either going to be an ethical brand or you're going to be an unethical brand that everybody knows about and nobody wants to kind of work with. Well, so that wraps this one up. Steph has nothing to say. I hope you enjoyed this show. If you've got questions about kind of branding, how the system works together, and you want some help, just shoot us an email. I'm Chandler at stoneagefield.com. We'll walk you through it. We'll help you out, help you figure it out. If you don't know what your brand is or what you're doing, we'll help you figure that out too. This whole project is designed to help people understand what they're doing in their businesses. So if you got questions for future episodes, ask us. You can email me, Chandler at stoneagefield.com, or you can ask me on Facebook.
#ChansLogic.
#ChansLogic on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the things. You can snap me, and we'll work through anything with you.
Thanks for watching.
Hope you had fun. Moose says bye.
I'm going to cut that out. Make them squawk.